Hello! Ike and I have a product to review for you today. It's the Beauty of Joseon Relief Aqua Sun Fresh. Ike, come here. No, that's it? Okay, that's all we get of Ike today. He's been very fired up the last few days. So anyway, yeah, so I've got this sunscreen. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about the original. I'll also link to a video I did applying them both so you can see how they both look on my face. Really quick, I want to mention I had major microneedling done by my esthetician a few days ago, so that's why I look not as good as usual. So still kind of red and healing and things like that. So if you're watching this 5 months from now and are wondering what's all over my face, that's what it is. So, I mean, I think it's kind of okay looking now. Let me look. I mean, it doesn't look as bad as it did a couple days ago. So, okay. On to the, microneedling is great for a lot of people. So, there's ways to do it at home. If you have an esthetician you trust, that's why I go to, like, for anything deep. Occasionally, I'll just microneedle very shallow at home. But you really have to be careful and use the clean equipment and things like that. So sometimes it's, for the deeper things, I just trust her. She does a great job. So, okay, so, and she's basically doing it mostly for hyperpigmentation melasma. So I think it is helping. But that melasma's probably never totally going to go away. But, yeah, annoying. Annoying and disappointing. I wish I would have used more sunscreen. And there's an article I linked to in my newsletter last week where the average age of starting to think about sunscreen is 26. And I was probably a late person because I was probably in my 30s when I started getting concerned of it. So, yeah, wish I would have started earlier. So, anyway. Okay, so they say a more hydrated version of Beauty of Joseon's best-loving sunscreen protects all type of users from strong UV rays with SPF 50, PA++++, broad spectrum, formulated with Panthenol to enhance skin moisture barrier and offering instant calming effect to irritated and dry skin, especially under strong rays. And I will right off the top mention when we went to Europe for a couple weeks, I will say the temperatures are usually 92 to 94 is unseasonably hot there. When I looked at the weather, it was going to be between 70 and 80. So I packed mostly pants. I didn't pack a lot of shorts. And it was friggin' hot. It was friggin' sunny. And I was washing my couple pairs of capris in the sink at the hotel. Because if I had the hotel do it, was going to be like $30 or something stupid. So anyway, but during that trip, on many of the days, this is the sunscreen I used. On the hottest, sunniest days, I used the La Roche-Posay UV Immune 400. And on the other days, or on days when we weren't outside as much, I use this one. The La Roche-Posay UV Immune is probably one of the sunscreens I trust the most. So for days like that, it's the one I trust. And this one didn't let me down either. So, okay, first criteria is packaging. We've got a plastic squeeze ball. No issues with that. Similar to the original one, but I do like how it has the date on it. Although most sunscreens these days have the date on it, but I still find a few here and there that don't have any date on it. Mostly, I notice from J Beauty brands. Don't know why. Okay, sorry, my nose itchy. Okay, in terms of denatured drying types of alcohol, it does not contain any of those. It also has no fragrance and no real scent. It does have green tea water in it, which sometimes can give things a scent, but I don't really notice any scent with this sunscreen at all. So I like that. And a lot of the U.S. chemical sunscreens smell like sunscreens, and that's what I like about the K-Beauty ones is they don't. I think that's what a lot of people dislike about the American sunscreens. Well, that and the terrible UV coverage. Okay, so this one's made in Korea. No issues with that. The SPF is 50 plus. So 30 or above is what you want to be at, where you want to be at on a daily basis. At least 30. Okay, so for UVA protection, it's got a PA with 4 pluses, which indicates exceptionally high UVA protection. That's the highest amount you can get for certain Asian countries. So for UVA fillers, it's got fillers. I was reading a story about somebody that had fillers down their lips and they were looking like a duck, which I guess is the look these days. I don't know, but anyway, that's what I was thinking of fillers. I have never had fillers done, so. Okay, so we've got, for UVA filters, we've got Mexoryl XL, which is a L'Oreal-created sunscreen filter. So it's oil-soluble, photostable, and it protects in the UVB and UVA range. We've got Mexoryl SX, another L'Oreal sunscreen. This one protects in the UVA range. and it's water soluble, protects all that good stuff. We've got Uvinol A+, which is another good UVA filter, has high photostability, gives great sun protection the entire UVA range. And then for one more UVA filter, we've got Tinsorb S, which is another very photostable filter. It does the whole spectrum of UVB and UVA rays, and it's very stable, hardly deteriorates at all in the presence of UV light. So, compared to any other US-made chemical sunscreen, at most, if it's US-made chemical sunscreen, you're going to see one UVA filter, and that's avobenzone, and it's not very photostable. Compared to something like this that has 4 UVA filters in it, it doesn't even compare. Doesn't even touch. Can't even touch. The US can't even touch what these other brands can do in these other countries. So, and UVAs, they're the ones that age us. You won't see it. You won't get burned from UVA rays, but you age. So, the UVA filters in US sunscreens are depressing. And there's nothing the brands can do because it's regulated by US law, which is sad. So, 4 UVA filters compared to an average sunscreen made in the US, which has 1. And it's not even a good filter. So, okay. So, I talked about those filters. So, the addition to that, we've got, let's see. Hang on one second. I think all of these are technically, the one additional one is Uvinol T150. So that's a UVB filter, very high photostability, absorbs in all the UVB filters. So that's the additional. So there's 5 total chemical filters. I think 3 of those are mostly UVA filters, and then 2 of those are UVB filters. So, okay, let's do a little try on. Okay, so in terms of white cast, when you initially apply it, it does look like it's going to be white casty. But once you soak it in, it does not have any white cast. But once you start to apply it, it looks like you're going to have white cast. But once it soaks in, there is no white cast. At least for pale me, and I'm very pale. So there we go. So once it soaks in, it's clear, it's opaque. Or not opaque, it's clear, not opaque. Opaque is the opposite of clear. It's clear, transparent. So then on the other hand, I'm going to apply their other sunscreen, which was their original version of this that everyone absolutely loves, and took me a while to fall in love with it. But so here is the original sunscreen, and this one has a little bit more of a white cast than the other one does. So, okay, so there you go. You can kind of see the difference on my injured hand. Definitely has more of a white cast, the original one. But it's such a light white cast that once you put makeup on over it, and once it soaks in, it's barely noticeable. But if you're deeper skin tone, it might be more noticeable. So, no issues with white cast. In terms of the texture, it's got kind of a lotiony texture to it. The texture is quite nice. It takes a minute to absorb. So what I do when I'm getting ready is I'll rinse off my face. I'll put my skincare on, my sunscreen on. Then when my sunscreen's kind of soaking in, I'll do my hair. So it gives it a 10 minutes to soak in. And then I'll apply my makeup on over it. So once you can kind of see it's soaked in now, it has a nice natural finish, non-greasy, non-sticky, feels very nice. Here's their original. Let me see if I can get that to soak in anymore. But the original is a little bit more of a glowy finish. So just depends. I think the new version, they're kind of marketing towards oilier skin types. And the original version is really marketed towards dry skin types. Lincoln, would you like to say hi to everybody? Lincoln, he's shy. Lincoln, come here. He's been rolling around outside. I can tell he's got grass stuck to him. Lincoln, come here. Buttercup, come here. Lincoln, look at this. Lincoln, come here. Look at. Do you like this sunscreen? You like? No, he doesn't. It doesn't have enough fragrance in it for him. Okay, very picky. Okay, otherwise, so ease of use, very easy to apply. I find this very easy to apply liberally. For me, it works great over sunscreen. It works great over serums, vitamin C serums. It works great under makeup. I didn't have any issues with it. I will say a couple of the reviews mentioned pilling. I didn't have that problem at all with it. So, but some people did mention it. And it's very easy to apply. You can reapply it throughout the day if you want. If you're reapplying over makeup, it tends to be okay. But if you reapply it more than once, then it gets to be a little bit much. But very easy, very enjoyable to apply, actually, compared to other sunscreens that are thick. Some sunscreens that are tinted. Some sunscreens that are tinted are orange. Some of them are just too sticky. So this one's enjoyable to apply. It just feels like applying a moisturizer, which is really nice. And yeah, so not too sticky, not thick, none of that issue. No issues like that. Okay, so both kind of soaked in. You can kind of see the difference. Okay, in terms of beneficial ingredients in here, we've got a few. We've got rice water, which is an antioxidant, antibacterial ingredient. We've got panthenol, skin soothing, wound healing, oat kernel extract, antioxidant, emollient, and soothing. We've got artichoke extract, which is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. Green tea water, skin conditioning ingredient. Beta-Glucan, skin soothing, antioxidant, humectant. We've got biosaccharide gum, which is a soothing and humectant ingredient. We've got inositol, which is a humectant. I think it's a sugar-derived humectant, which is, I think it's not good for dogs. Then we've got vitamin E, which is another antioxidant, ferulic acid. Love to see these. Antioxidant, rice bran oil, antioxidant, emollient, ceramide MP, and phytosphingosine, skin-identical ingredients, sodium hyaluronate, which is a humectant, rice amino acid, which is an emollient, and then finally rice peptide, which is emollient and may help with epidermal skin growth. Man, Lincoln just took off so fast. You know what, I didn't have anything with perfume in it, so he didn't even care. You know, if this had perfume or scent to it, he'd be all over it, so. Okay, in terms of acneogenic ingredients, we've got a couple, nothing too major, but a handful. Glyceryl, stearate, silica, carbomer, and vitamin E. So nothing terrible. And I have an itch like on the bottom of my foot. And I've got shoes on. It's weird. How do you itch it with shoes on? I don't know. Okay, in terms of animal testing, this is cruelty-free, so no issues with that. Then last, well not last, almost last, performance. I grew to love the sunscreen, so I will say I was a naysayer of the original sunscreen. I didn't love it from the first time I tried it. I grew to like it and enjoy it. I might have been wrong about it, but it is definitely on the hydrating side. So I really grew to love this one more though, and it's geared towards more oily skin. This one's geared more towards dry skin. Maybe when the winter comes, I'll end up trying this one more and liking that one more. We'll see. But it feels nice on my skin. I didn't have any issues using it in Europe with no issues with sunburn, redness, or freckling. Feels nice on my skin. So for what this promises, they promise a more hydrated version of Beauty of Joseon's best-loving sunscreen, protects all skin type users from strong UV rays, enhance skin's moisture barrier, offers instant calming effect for irritated and dry skin, gently nourish skin and promote a healthy looking and plump complexion, leaving a refreshing finish without any white cast or sticky feeling. And I tend to agree with most of those promises, and the ingredients in this product back up those claims. It protects you from the strong UV rays. It's got skin identical ingredients. It's got soothing ingredients. It's got skin protecting ingredients, antioxidants, vitamin E, and ferulic acid. So I tend to agree with most of these promises, and I'm overall impressed with this. It's quite nice. So even with my drier skin, I find this to be nicely hydrating, and it tends to work really well on my skin. And yeah, so I'm wearing it underneath my foundation right now, and it feels nice. No issues at all with that. Last but not least, the price. So this is the full size 50 milliliters, 1.7 ounces. And right now, yes style, it's at $15. So it's worth checking out. So with a 15 being a perfect score, this one got a 14, which I believe might be the highest that we've gotten for sunscreen. I think the next highest up was the Isntree Hyaluronic Moist Sun Cream, I believe. Don't count me on that, but that's what I recall. So anyway, really nice sunscreen, worth checking out. Interested in hearing from you guys if you had a chance to check this one out yet or not. Or the other one, or if you tried both of them, what are your thoughts on them both? Leave a comment. Love hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.